This live stream is brought to you by Hustlers Kung Fu University, where you can get any course for 50% off using the promo code MONEY. I suggest you get the Money Management, the Basics of Finance, and Wealth Development course. Also, there's new courses coming, and everyone that buys a course in 2019 will automatically get a discount on the new stuff that's coming. All right, let's get into this wonderful bean footage. Should you invest in the stock market? Should you invest in real estate? Should you invest in a business? I'm getting ready to start a personal finance channel, and I've been doing a lot of research. And one of the things that has stood out to me is that no one talks about making more money. Here and there is kind of like an afterthought for whatever you're trying to do: retiring debt, investing. Income is your shovel. The bigger the shovel, the bigger the results. And no one's really talking about this because, there are many people who are talking about they want to invest in the stock market only, and they feel more comfortable. They don't want to run a business. They want to. I've been I've looked at a lot of these guys who have really exploding YouTube channels. They're putting out stock advice, and they actually show their portfolios. And like the one guy, his portfolio is $186,000. I have saved more than that for my real estate investments that are coming up next year out of my income. My income this year has been more than their portfolios, which they've been putting together for years. And I'm just sitting there like, there's something missing here. There is something there's a missing component to education out there in the YouTube world, because it's like people don't understand that you need to make more money. And whatever you're trying to do, let's say you want to get into the stock market, and your if you could dollar cost average $2,000 per month into the stock market, that's $24,000 year one. That's $100K in 4 years. That's just $2,000 per month if you could dollar cost that. And one of the things is, many people here are afraid of entrepreneurship. That's a big fear. Go ahead, get a job, go to the bank, get a loan to buy a rental. That seems to be safer, even though that's crazy to me, because one of the things that you got to understand, whatever you're trying to do, income is a key component to whatever you're trying to do. And the bigger the income, the more that you can do. And I see people out here like, there's this one guy, his channel, he just started it this year. It's at 47, 48,000. Another guy that started his channel, it's almost at 200,000. That so many people are afraid of risk. There's a risk to starting a business. There's a risk to being an entrepreneur. There's a risk. And this one guy, he's got a portfolio of $186,000. He lives with his girlfriend, this other dude. He only pays $475 rent. He does not have a car. And people are on this minimalism kick. Van life, RV life, shared housing. And he's doing the YouTube thing very, very well, and that has taken off for him. But once again, we still got these frugal sensibilities, and one of the things that so many people seem to feel that the best way to invest in the stock market, the best way to invest in real estate, the best way to invest in the business is to be super, super cheap. And that to me is rooted in a lack mentality. That is not the abundance mentality. And I've been looking there. There's so many channels that I never knew existed that speak about money, and the frugal channels are everywhere. Just save money, don't buy coffee. And once again, I have a philosophy that believes that's rooted in the abundance mindset. Because, like I said, I mean, what I've made this year so far, because we still got half of November and all of December, is 2 to 3 times more than what their portfolios are. And I'm just sitting there like, start a business, start a business. But I got a question. What do you think you should do? Should you invest in the stock market? Should you invest in real estate? Should you invest in the business? What should you do? Most finance channels talk about saving, budget, and being frugal. Tim A, that's what I've been finding. Life for a business depends. I sell options. It's pretty profitable if you know what you're doing. Do you invest if you create a business with your investment, or are you just investing on the side? Life for a business. Car life. I don't know if this is the way they explain the coffee thing. It's not that 1 cup of coffee. It's the cost of that coffee over a year. If you spend $5 a day, that's $25 a week. That's $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. That's the way they break it out. And this finance channel that I'm putting together, because I should be releasing the first video Sunday, and I'll let you guys know about it. It's going to be rooted in a different philosophy, which is the abundance principle and how to get more money to live the life that you want to live, not how to somehow get a job and cram your lifestyle into the limitations of this job. I mean, once again, from personal experience, starting a business is the best investment you can make, and then allocate and deploy that money into other safe haven investments to grow wealthy. I mean, it's crazy what I'm seeing here all across the YouTube space. And, as Tim A said, the channels that are growing the quickest preach frugality. And I think that's something that people can wrap their heads around more easily than going out and getting more. One of the things, I've noticed that there's no channel that speaks to married couples, which has 2 incomes. I'm like, if I ever get married, we're going to live on my income. We're going to bank hers, and we're going to buy investment properties from her income. Because, if you're going to go out and get a woman and you're going to become one through the process of marriage, her economics should benefit both of you. None of this, I'm the man. I got you, baby. You can spend your money any way you want to. I'll pay all the bills. I'll pay that. I'll do the heavy lifting. No, 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 no. We're a couple. We're in this together. Your money's going to benefit me as well as my money benefiting you. I think it is asinine. And I found a channel where, oh man, she is cute as she want to be. She's a stay-at-home mom, and she taught her channels about how to be more feminine, how to be a good wife. I mean, it is crazy. I found her channel, and I'm going to talk about that. But one of the things that I'm seeing that is missing from the personal finance space is how to hustle up more money. And I'm sitting here creating a lot of ideals. Tim May, I'm doing all 3. It's all the same as long as you treat it as a business. Been a bartender. I've been schooled up on stock market investing. Stock market investing, once again, works on the principle the bigger the shovel that you have, which is your income, the better results. Like when I was in the stock market, my portfolio was $1.5 million. Was it $1.5 million from capital appreciation? No, I was just putting half my income into the stock market. That's why it was growing so quick. That's why, because I was buying more and more. I had a little capital appreciation because probably I put in about 1,500,000 was from capital appreciation, but I was buying blue chip stocks, companies that everybody knows, stable stocks. But once again, Tim, a business first, learning to day trade, and that's up with real estate. My hustle will fund the business. Life for business. I created an LLC to sell options due to capital gains. I used it as a sole proprietor, but I was paying way too much taxes. BK, security is, you should get on the Google machine and do as much research about cyber security as you can, because anything that does with security, cybersecurity is hot, hot, hot. I don't even know why you waiting. Stop playing. Dip your big toe into the water of cybersecurity, because Google, let's just go. Let me show you something. And I've never, okay, cybersecurity, 49,000 to 161, 48,000 to 99. Six highest paid cybersecurity jobs. Now, application security engineer. Now, once again, this is what the employees make. If you own the company, more money, more money, more money. I don't know why you playing. I don't know why you playing. Get up, get out, and get something, man. Because cybersecurity is wickedly hot right now. Brolistic. I sell options on futures. With futures, you could put up much less money for more profits than just stocks alone. Once again, there's so many things to do with stocks, because there's dividend investing, where you buy stocks that pay dividends, and as you build your portfolio, your dividend payouts get much, much larger. I have a friend who's a dividend investor. He gets $500,000 a year in dividends. Now he has millions of dollars of stock, and he started this when he was in high school. He had an uncle that said, "Hey, you should never buy a stock unless it pays a dividend." And he just started when he was in high school, kept it going, kept it going. Now he has millions of dollars of stock that pay him $500,000 a year in dividends, which he only pays capital gains tax on because it's not income, because it's dividends. Marvin's Market. Could you please answer the question? I know if a person has $1 billion in the whole company, does that make them a billionaire? Absolutely, absolutely, all day long. So, how many of you guys feel that being in the stock market? Because there was a video where they were talking about, was it better to invest in the stock market to start a business? And my, once again, personal experience, because I have made 3 to 4 times this year, 1 year, more than these guys have in their whole portfolio. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, and these channels are exploding because, once again, I understand that half the country is broke. And as you move up the income ladder, half the country doesn't invest in the stock market. And when you start to parse out the people who are really making money from the stock market, It's the people making 6 or 7 figures. Go figure, because they have more money to put into the stock market. Life for business. I use ETFs, iron court, condor strangles. Jeremy, once again, I have an email list and I put that on there and people didn't pay attention. So, because once again, I'm like in school right now. I'm getting ready to start this new YouTube channel. So I'm in research mode. I am going to redo Hustlers Kung Fu University. I got to figure out how to do that. So I got a lot of stuff going on. So really, there hasn't been that many live streams. Not this week. But I just wanted to put this up there because this is from my research that I don't think that enough people know the power of a business. One of my first videos is going to be personal finance for married couples because they got 2 incomes. I'm really surprised that no one has targeted it that because, essentially the whole video is going to be about like living on 1 income and using the other income to retire debt and to invest. I mean, seriously, you get a couple where they're both making 50K a year, man, the things that they can do. Being the bartender, you can't invest in stocks from zero money. You can make money in business immediately with zero money invested. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. We have Cleaver, who started the computer business. We've got many people who have started a painting business, who started all kinds of business with zero investment, and they started making dollars. They started making dollars. But once again, all these investments, as you so adroitly pointed out, take money. And this is what's got my mind twisted. What do you mean an individual account? I don't understand. Tim, may I have a Roth IRA that I max out every year with money I don't need at that moment? 89 Dr. Funk, margins in business will outdo stock markets every day. I hope people don't fall for the get rich quick in the story market. Oh, I'm actually gonna do a video whenever I start it and once I drop the first video. I mean, 89 Dr. Funk, this is something I know. Like, all right, let's say you have a small painting company, right? And your small painting company makes $3,000 a month and it costs you $500 a month. So you have a net profit of a gross profit of $2,500 per month or $30,000 a year from a $500 investment per month. You can invest $500 in stocks for 10 years and not make $30,000. So, the whole math on this thing is just crazy to me because, I'm looking at the template. I got to get my artwork together and all this other stuff because, I've got to really think about the direction that the channel is going to go into because it's going to be personal finance, it's going to be entrepreneurship, and wealth development. So that's going to be the buckets that I talk about. But how many of you are investing in the stock market? And when you're investing, like how much money you make in the stock market? Because, I get people like my portfolio's doing well. How much real money, cash money in your pocket is that? How much cash is that? Tea Leaf Flyers started a business. I need a strategic way of getting clients on a shoestring budget. No video on that. My tax guy warned me to do it. I didn't listen at first. I used it. Anthony Montgomery. Seems like selling hope is the thing to do these days. You're right, Uncle G. It takes a lot of capital to make money in the financial market. Not many rags to riches stories coming from the market. Patrick Hater. That's why I try to preach to people, man. People try to avoid starting a business more than anything. Pro style. They never talk about cash gains, always percentages. That's something else I've noticed because when I saw this one dude's portfolio, because he's got it in Robinhood, and there's another guy that has a portfolio in M1, and none of these guys have $1 million portfolios. Now there is Project Life Mastery. He's got a 3.5 Canadian $1 million portfolio, but he makes a lot of money, and his portfolio went from 1.5 million to 3.5 million in like 2 years because he had a lot of money to invest. So he has really done a remarkable job on growing his channel and his business. I only have company stock for my job, Tim A. The only way to make money in the stock market is to trade the market. Once again, one of the things is, and I am pro business because business has provided me the debt free lifestyle that I have. I've made many, many financial mistakes. I've like used all the money I had in the bank to buy a brand new car. I've done that stuff. But because I had more money, the concept of more money, it saved me from my bad decisions because I had so much money. Because the thing is, one of the things is that half of America doesn't have money to invest. You're making $33,000 a year. You're bringing home 22 to 2,300. Your rent is $1,000 or more. You have a car note. You just don't have. I mean, just those two things, having rent and a car payment, knock you out the frame for having money to invest. If you were making $33,000 a year and you were doing like $2,500 per month, you would need to have a paid off car. You would need to be debt free to be able to invest 200 to 500 bucks per month. And a lot of people are just not there. Faith Accompli, you're correct. Stocks are going to take time and good money to money invested. Bro, BK Pro, don't fall for it. I invested $10 in 1919. Now it's worth $10 million in 2019. Nathan Johnson, if it's time to trade stocks, you have time to go wash some cars. Steve Jameson, once again, Uncle G is right about platforms will do in their best interest. Sounds like with the new terms of service, if your channel's not making money, your YouTube channel will be terminated. I don't think it's going to be that cut clear. I feel that if your channel is harmful to the platform, because I've got to change up my disruptive male style channel. I'm thinking about redoing that because essentially thinking about doing a men and money channel. A money channel aimed squarely at men. But one of the things that, because the COPPA, the government, the the Federal Trade Commission is going after these YouTubers who have children's content. That's become a very dicey side of YouTube. Very, very dicey. Eric Williams, begin the fire movement is mostly tech guys who have wives who work as well. They drop at 50K in the market a year. I've said that. I've said that. I talked about fire. If you are working at the Dollar General, you can't do fire. You a Google tech engineer, yeah, you're making 150 over 10 years. That's $1.5 million. And you got a wife who's making like another 100K. It's easy because There's this one channel, Our Rich Happy Journal. He was making 100 and she was making 70, and they saved 70% of their income. And I was just like, yeah. Joshua Hill, I have a small account, so at the moment my strategy is to treat it as a savings account. Once again, you know, the, like Patrick said, that people are working so hard not to start a business. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to manage it. I don't want to do anything. And the benefit that a business will create for you and your family so far outpaces the drawbacks. I mean, with the internet and the ability, you could build a lifestyle business. You could build all types of businesses that can make you money when you sleep. And I'm just, it is crazy how no one is really talking about this. Stephen James, even with investing, you have to have capital to be invited to invest with these groups. Absolutely. Kids' channels were extremely lucrative. That's the key operating work because they're cracking down. I know a personal family went from wife being a teacher to 750 in revenue and sponsors, so the family bought a house and mom stays at home. Uh, there was this comedian. Uh, there was this because it was this guy named Hot Damn I Rock. Let me see if I can find him. Whoa, he cut this. He killed his channel. All right. So this guy and another guy. All right. Let me tell you. This is when I saw the power of family channels. This guy and this guy had the same type of rough, in-your-face comedy. Jerry Levine, Jerry Levine Jr. He had his channel. When this channel came on, because they've got like 3 or 4 channels, he was able to move from New Orleans to Arizona, buy this like $500,000 house, and he completely stopped cussing and cleaned it up because this is the guy and this is his wife, and they have adorable kids. They're an interracial couple, which the internet loves. Like, if you're a black woman and you marry a white dude and do a channel, that is internet YouTube gold. I mean, I have like seen these channels literally just blow up overnight because it's like, oh, and if the black woman is cute, slim, and very feminine, oh my God. You rarely see a channel of an interracial couple with a woman that's fat. You rarely see that. But they make so much money because they got this channel and she's got a channel. They went crazy on this because the money was sick. The money with these family channels is sick. Now, the thing is, because they have their kids in the videos, they're going to come under COPPA, which could drastically reduce their income. COPPA is a big thing because it's going to be in a point where you can designate if your content is aimed for children. Smokehouse, Men and Money. Thank you, 1211 Amcor. Fade accomplished. Erica, you're right. I knew a guy who became a millionaire with stocks, but he and his wife are investing 30 plus a year. It's 2,500 a month. Kid clickbait. I remember how powerful toy commercials were to me as a kid. I can imagine these channels are basically toy commercials being broadcast 24/7. Some of them are. My nephews watch kid stuff on the internet, man. The Bayless Cole. I love watch. I didn't know he ended his channel. Basically, get the money, then invest. I meet a ton of YouTubers as an investor, like conferences, trying to figure out how to get out of debt free or buy rentals. Yeah, a lot of YouTubers who made a lot of money made a lot of bad financial decisions. Instead of paying cash for their house or paying cash for their cars, they went out and got loans. I'm like, once again, I'm going to say this: you making six figures or more, you should not have a car payment, and if you have a car payment, it shouldn't be for long. You're just mismanaging your money. Once again, what kind of books do you recommend for getting for beginners? What type of beginners? Erica Williams, Levine was also on MGTOW crap. Met Asian woman, let go of all the MGTOW shit. He surely did. He surely did. Oh man, they got married and it was a wrap. Ben, oh yeah, and all the couples. Oh, gold. Oh yeah, Jamie and Nikki were hella popular before they split. They split up. Oh damn. Oh, Hot Damn Rock got busted out for stealing comedian Patrice. I remember that. I remember that, Kevin. I remember that. Lily Petals is a big name in the interracial scene. I mean, it's going to be impossible for the average person to invest like Warren Buffett. Warren Warren is gangster. Warren's a nice guy now, but in the beginning, Warren used to be gangster. I remember some controversy about that because Patrice O'Neal was so underrated because he didn't get his due. I don't think Patrice got his due for his insights, his comedy, his timing, his psychological analysis. I don't think he got his due. Oh, Patricia Bright, the British black female, and her white model husband had. Patricia has been raking in money for years, and she is very dark, but she's very feminine, and she's tiny. Once again, if you gonna marry a black woman, make sure she's feminine, make sure she's small, and get your channel, and it will literally blow up. Y'all can do a video just talking about we're having coffee, and people like, yeah, I love them together. They so cute. The kids are so cute. Oh my God, they're so beautiful together. I mean, and this also shows you that society has changed because I remember watching this young guy and he and his girlfriend, and they really made a good looking couple. And I would go through the comments, not one racist comment. This went on for years until the white nationalists found the channel. Then they started to get those hate comments, but they went a long time. Everybody said, "Oh, they're so beautiful. They're such a cute couple." And it just shows you that most people are not racist. Most people don't give a damn who you date. Most people don't. It's just a small and vocal group of people who are racist because, like, these channels just exploded. Beginners for stock market investing. I don't really have any books. I haven't got that deep into it because personally, I'm not currently in the market. I'm going to jump back in to talk about it. Folks love seeing mixed couples. Yes, they do. Yeah, Patrice, he was just so underrated. He was really underrated. But once again, there's because I'm taking this YouTube course that is just mind blowing. Every time I go through a model, it's like this is the crap I was doing wrong. BK Pro, that's the media fueling stuff. I don't know if it's the media, the white nationalists, because they would have you. I mean, there's a few channels that talk about the loving the white race and how they should not mix. And this chick, she's so articulate, but she's racist as the day is long. And she's like these unique traits, and you know, if you get with someone of another race, then these unique traits are muted and all this other stuff. Yep, Ben the bartender, right. If you like it, I love it. Jesse Baldo, right now it's not the time to get into stocks, it's the time to get out. Once again, uh, we're going to talk about that because essentially, I've been watching a lot of personal finance videos, and I've seen examples and examples of even during a downturn, you should continue to put money in the market and stay in the market and don't come out. Red ice. What are you talking about, C. Alley? Flash 401. What are your thoughts on starting a co-worker space, renting commercial office properties, and subletting the space? I personally think that's a bad business model because you're dependent on people coming in and needing a place to rent. Like, I actually was using a co-working space for a minute, and it quickly occurred to me because one, I needed unlimited access, so I had to eventually, after 3 months, it just didn't work for me. I actually ended up renting traditional office space. So I don't really like that business model. WeWork has been in so much trouble, and also the thing is, you got to go out and get these long-term leases. That's on your balance sheet, man. That's a lot of stuff. So personally, I would not do it. Ben the bartender, yeah, folks go hard on stocks during the downturn because everything, like if you take a company like Apple, Apple's going to be okay. Coca-Cola is going to be okay. IBM is going to be okay. Like, yes, IBM is still doing very well. IBM just got a contract from Amazon. Let's see. IBM. Because once again, what you gotta, like stocks is very much like real estate. You gotta research that market. IBM beats Amazon in 12-month cloud revenue. Microsoft beats Amazon for Pentagon's $10 billion cloud contract. That happened this year. I remember seeing that. Microsoft isn't going anywhere. IBM isn't going anywhere. Uh, you go ahead and get these huge companies that are rock solid. Then during the downturn, they're just going to take a little beating, and that's when you can get more of them. So it's very interesting. But once again, I think that many people don't understand. Like Essentially, you can get rich in the stock market. It's just going to take decades. It's going to take decades. You can get rich with a business in 1 to 7 years. So, decades or 1 to 7 years. I mean, my third year of the storage auction business, my income was $300,000 to $400,000 a year. Third year. You know, when you get to a certain income level, you just feel rich. And you can do certain things and you can enjoy life on a different level. And many people don't understand that. Oh, see, Allie, Red Ice talks about not race missing, how the white population is decreasing. Because some white girls are not having no white babies. White women are not reproducing enough to replace their individuals. So it's not race mixing, it's that white women are not having babies. Engineering lifestyle. Can't control stocks. You end up praying for the market every day. Don't think I go back unless I need the tax benefit. Steve Jameson, IBM's doing good with the Watson program. Yeah, co-working didn't just work for me. You know, it's pretty much designed for these internet businesses, and they do have traditional offices. But once again, I didn't like it. How do you flip $5,000? You go out and buy some shit at garage sales and sell it on eBay and Amazon. You know, once again, because we're going to talk about this, you know, because I'm thinking about a video concept, how to turn $300 into 2 million. You know, take that $5,000, go out and buy a bunch of used stuff and flip it on eBay and Amazon. I mean, because really, that's going to be a big push for my personal finance channel, is to urge people to make more money. But we will be talking about um, certain topics that I've been discussed for a long time. You can also flip a mobile home. You know, that's something that I looked into because you can get. I mean, I got enough money in the bank where I could probably get 20, 30 mobile homes, and with average rents of $300 to $500, you know, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Tim May, you don't need 5,000. I was just giving him a suggestion of where he could flip his money, because in a year's time, if you took 5,000 and bought correctly, you could turn that 5,000 into 25, 30, 40, or even 50, just depending on how well you bought. So it just depends, because once again, you would buy and you would reinvest the profits. So how many of you guys are in the stock market? You know, because that's how I got started. I could not go back and do Amazon or eBay. You know, the money can be there, but I know it's, you know, to make two, 300, 400, $500,000 on eBay and Amazon, you're gonna be putting in some work that I choose not to do. Ricardo Ripper, Uncle G, do you have a new time frame? We're gonna start some of these new channels. Sunday, I'm gonna drop the personal finance channel. I'm working on that today. 5,000 cause a death pile. Smokehouse. Once again, I would have to do research on that before I could give you a good answer. Eric Youngblood, do you have any plans to expand outside the U.S. to take advantage of lesser tax burdens? Once again, once you set your company up a certain way, you don't really have to leave the country. Like, one of the things I'm doing to offset my taxes is, since I get through PayPal, they offer me these ridiculous loans. And I know from taking them before that whatever your loan is for, because $350,000, that's what I've took this year, that's going to come off of what they report to the Internal Revenue Service. So there's so many different ways to play the tax game that is sick. So I have no plans to do any of this, capital nomads, digital nomad stuff. I don't have to do that. And I just don't have the desire to travel like that. For me, 1 or 2 good trips a year, I'm good. So I don't have this wanderlust that many of these digital people have. They can't stay home. But yes, the tax business is one of those services businesses. I have a partner, uh, Mario, and his partner John. They've run their tax business for 15 years, make killer money. I gotta get back in the stock market. Currently using Robinhood for right now. Yeah, it seems to be Robinhood is a big app. M1 Finance is a big app, and it just depends. If you're willing to sit down and do the research. And I will tell you, I can see why a lot of these guys watch these financial channels, because if one of these guys has a portfolio and he's been doing stocks, essentially they've done all the research. You could just sit there like, oh, I'm going to do my portfolio just like this guy's portfolio, because you know that the guy has researched it. He's making money off of it. So it saves you a lot of time. Jesse, before the last major correction in 2008, I put 20K in the stock market and lost 60%. I suggest waiting for the correction before putting it in. And yes, buy when there's blood on the streets, but not before. Um, this is something else, and I've seen this recommended. Never put in a large chunk of money in the stock market. Always dollar cost average. So take that 20,000. You should have put that in like $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, and it wouldn't have been as painful, because the stock market changes every day. But, from where I sit, the best path is to start a business. And this is why it's going to be, because I don't know, I'm going to probably call the channel Glendon Cameron, Personal Finance, Entrepreneurship, and Wealth Development. And I've been like researching this for a few weeks, figuring out what I was going to name it, because I was going to name it financial, um, personal finance, personal finance development, and but I'll bring that in there because I'm just going to use my name. Fiverr has evolved. You can get a lot of work done in Fiverr, a lot. Just go to Fiverr and look around, man. But from where I sit, like, even if you have a job that you love, you should start a side business just for the additional income. Because that's where it all breaks down to me. Because I'm like, I just see all of this stuff. Van life, like the girl whose YouTube channel blew up because of the keyword van life. I actually know people living in their van. I actually met a guy who's living in a tent. living in a tent because they don't make enough money to live in a house or an apartment. Smokehouse, what's the best state to start a business in? I heard some states are better than others with tax deductions and all. Essentially, start a business in your state because you go ahead and start a business in another state. If it's not an internet business, it's going to get funky when you go to your bank because you're going to have to open up a business account, and some of these banks are going to call you in. So let's say you live in Alabama, but you open up your business in Texas. You got to hop on a plane to go do your banking in person. And I'm going to tell you, uh, these phone apps, the biggest check they could take is 2,500. Check bigger than 2,500, you got to go to the branch. So if you're taking checks or you got large deposits, there's so many things that's going to happen if you've got. I mean, you could mail your deposit in. That would be interesting. You can mail that in, but there's a lot of things. I don't do forex trading. I know nothing about it. Erica Williams, Google survival in cold weather van life videos. They're exploding. I already seen it. How to do a winter in Canada living in a van. And I ain't doing that. I ain't living in no van at 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to get out my van and go outside and pee in the cold. I ain't doing that. My personal opinion was driving van life, living in van, is people are not making money. Check it out. The girl, Elena, with her little snake Alfredo, her channel is probably making $12,000 to $15,000 a month. She just bought a new van that she's going. Because what's going to happen is as her channel grows and she gets more money, she going to eventually move into a house. This is what I've seen with the YouTube money, like girls who like strippers. Strippers come on YouTube. This is how you be a stripper. This is how you get the bag. This is how you secure the bag. Once that YouTube money gets nice, they stop stripping. Once that YouTube money gets nice, they stop living in the van. Now, one thing I might do, which I think is so cool, is these people who live on boats. But some of these boats are like living in houses. So you do that. Eric Williams, you have to register the business with the state, pay a fee that's bigger than just opening an LLC in your state. Yeah, it's called registering as a foreign LLC. I'm just saying, start your LLC in your state. See, Allie, nah, not for me. I like open floor plans. Pro Style. Ally Bank lets you deposit $50K on their app? Really? Max deposit. Ally Bank increased their e-check deposit limit to $50,000 per day, or $250,000 every 30 days. That's pretty remarkable. Or is Ally Bank an internet bank? Well, most of these banks will not. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see. Does not look like you can start a business checking account with Ally Bank. So once again, I don't think you can open up a business account. Unfortunately, Ally doesn't currently offer business checking account or business savings account. So that example of you could deposit $50,000 into these accounts, that not a business account because they don't offer them. So that's something that you should be aware of. Because once again, uh, many of these banks who offer business accounts are under strict guidelines and charters. So apparently, Ally didn't want to do that. So that exception does not apply because you cannot open a business account with Ally. So that's the reality of that. Man, how do you poop in a coat? Man, bend the bar. I don't know what they be doing. See, Alex, she's not gonna stay in that van. She's cute, but that van look. She's cute and she's young. That's another factor into it because once I guarantee you, and I've seen this with the Instagram people, the travel people who were in their 20s, the minute that they got close to 30, they start getting apartments, they slow down the traveling, they start setting up roots. Well, I think, she's got a career. For all we know, Elena may already have a house and apartment, just films in the wild. That could be interesting. Freebie, go to the doctor credit website, list of banks that would let you open bank accounts with credit cards. I've been banking with allies pretty good. The Ebola, define the legal versus right. What do you mean? Once again, starting a business is simple as opening up a hustle. You don't need an LLC. You just need to take action, make a decision. You can start a painting company. You can start washing cars. You got to have that business mindset because many of you will, because I feel that the storage auction business was like my starter business. And then, because, I'll be doing this stuff longer than I did storage auctions in a few months. And I made way more money doing this than I did the storage auction business. And I don't have a partner, so I didn't have to share. But, it is, once again, setting yourself up. Because right now, we are in a state of change, a state, because like I'm enjoying the personal finance stuff. I will admit that I've come across channels I didn't know existed, and I'm learning stuff that I didn't know. So as I become an educator in the space, because I have my own money philosophy, manage the money to your best of your ability and make more money. Because until you get to a certain level of money, it's just going to be really hard out there. I watched a video where this girl and her husband paid off like $15,000 in credit card debt, making only 31,000. That that was extreme. In an interview with Atlanta, said their goal was to move into a tiny house. I already knew that was gonna happen. See, once you get to a certain age, as long as you young and your body, because this is the thing, when you're young, your legs will be firm whether you work out or not. It's just an attribute of being young. But the minute that you get to 30, 35, you'll wake up and you'll have an ache and a pain and you don't even remember injuring yourself. So the older you get, the more you're going to want to settle down and get some stability. Like when I was young in the military and going to all these countries and stuff, it was fun. I could not do that now. Like being out in a tent out in Romeo 105 in North Korea. I mean, that was like cool back then. I would not want to do that. I go to Korea, I'm going to stay in a 5-star. I'm going to take Uber. I'm going to eat at the best restaurants. I'm not going to want to be out there roughing it. No, don't want to do that. So, I'm seeing this, and as Patrick said, that there's this big reluctance to start a business. And because I I'd rather stay in the stock market because I don't have to do this and this and this. But the thing is, I'm here to tell you, you could get richer starting a business in less than 10 years. It's going to take you minimum 3 to 4 decades to get rich in the stock market. And that's if everything goes correct and you keep putting money in. Or you somehow put in if you could put in $200,000 today and never add anything to it, in about 15, 20 years, that would be a grip. Once again, your income, the amount of money that you could put into some is your shovel. And that pain will be there for Nate. Man, I'm 53, and right now, my foot hurts, and I've done nothing to it. I'm limping around the house. And this stuff, fortunately, I worked out, but you will just start to have these phantom pains, these little things and you could be in shape, and it still happens. My friend is 38. In Korea and ready to retire the military, but he joined in life. Them 30s hit different, man. That recovery time is real. BK Pro, well, it happened to me playing b-ball 4 to 5 times a week. Now I'm lucky to get 2 games a week. This is for you, Alex. So once again, all of this stuff, van life is very much predicated on low income. You buy a van for $2,000-$3,000. You take $10,000. You fix it up. You live in it. Your housing cost is fixed, is sunk, and it doesn't occur on a monthly basis. And once again, there's something else too. Rent across the nation is high. I remember years ago, last time I lived in an apartment, my rent was, and this was in an upscale neighborhood. My rent was like $1,100 for a 2-bedroom. That same apartment today is $2,000. That same apartment. It's gone up $900. And our average apartments that are really not that spectacular are $1,000 a month. 2-bedroom, 1,200 to 14. This is across the country. And you want to know why? It's going to get worse. Remember this book? Let's talk about it. This book talks about why this is happening. And this is why I don't think real estate's going to take a big hit, if any. I think it's going to calm down a little bit, but essentially, we don't have enough housing for the population, supply and demand. So as long as demand remains high, prices are going to keep going up. Like in California, San Francisco, a one bedroom in the hood is like 3750. That ain't even nothing nice. That's just a one bedroom. And California, New York, I was on Craigslist looking up 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms in New York. They were $2,000 to $3,000. Essentially, based upon our population growth and emerging demographics, we don't have enough housing for the people who are here. And that's going to continue to drive pricing. That's going to continue to drive purchases. So, go ahead and get this book. It's a good read. It will let you know what the future is coming, what's coming up in the future. Grant Cardone was saying he was in pain, so he got personal trainer, all kinds of massages and stuff. G3, go ahead and go to Fiverr and see what they have to offer. Lisa Franks, the struggle is real with the achy joints at a certain age. BK Pro, a bunch of people moving from Cali to Boise, Idaho. Now the people in Boise telling them to go back. That's one of the markets I researched, and it is surprising. Could that be the reason that rent this just blew my mind. We're looking at the real estate prices in Boise, Idaho. $1,200 a month, 1,100 a month. You see, these are apartments. $1,000 a month for one bedroom, 1,200 for a 2 bedroom, 1,139 for a 1 bedroom, 1,500 for 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath. This is Boise, and this house only has one garage. I really, I don't, for personal preference, I'm not a fan of these houses with these one-car garages. That just looks crazy to me. But this house is $1,500 per month. Looks like a nice little house. Three bedrooms. I mean, this really surprised me. I wonder if this is why prices have gone up. Here's a 1 bedroom for $978. And because I just went through Zillow and I went around the country, and rent is pretty high across the country, even Alabama. That is just crazy. But once again, make more income so you can live the life that you want. Start putting pure turpentine under the bottom of your feet on that spot. It will go away. Look up Dr. Jennifer Daniel Turpentine. Okay. Angela Waters. I stopped eating pork 6 years ago. Went to cut back on all meat and vegetables only. I'm 57. I look 30. Not much pain now. Okay, good for you. Pro style. How can people make less than 33,000 with massive debt ever buy a home? I think the next housing crash will be brutal. Well, one of the things I'm looking at is the foreclosure rate is at an all-time low. So whatever way, because part of some of these real estate markets are being supported by foreign investors, like Canada. The Chinese are driving those Canadian real estate markets, so they're not dependent upon natives. So I wonder what's going on across the country. Hey Ben, do it. Also, why people want to be in the city, the long commute time, so the regentrification will continue. I don't see that slowing down no time soon. G3 balling. Many people are moving to Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is growing like crazy. You can't even wholesale here like that because the market's never slowing down anytime soon. See, once again, all real estate is local. I got a personal trainer, cryotherapy, infrared sauna, massages weekly. Went to a wealthy event. All the wealthy wives are doing that routine. I just need the chef now. That damn house is 80,000 in Douglasville, pretty much. Engineer Life School. Yes, they converted an old Kmart in my town to a U-Haul Super Soul. So many leaving California, they don't even have time to paint the trucks. It's over 1,500 to rent a van leaving, but only 300 back. Wow. Wow. Glen Ford Gentle people are living in shipping containers now. Oh, that's been going on for a minute. Maurice Robinson, Charleston, South Carolina, downtown area, one bedroom apartments average $15,000 to $2,000. My mortgage is cheaper than rents that are being charged. Making money is the only option. Glen Ford gentrification is really, it's real now, man. Angela Waters, USA is broke. They're selling off the land to foreigners. They stole the land and continue to rape the land and all its resources. Joe Augustine, there's so many ways to skin a cat, so many ways to get wealthy. Absolutely. Oh, Robert, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's going to be very interesting. Because one of the things that, and this is why I'm so much on the business tip, I know what starting a business has done for me. And it liberated me from the 9 to 5. It liberated me. I've not had a commute in 10 years. My commute is from the bedroom to the office. And it set me up for a certain kind of lifestyle that's very unique. I have a few friends who have a similar lifestyle. They're all business owners, and they've got their businesses to the point where they just don't have to be there. I mean, I got one friend, he disappeared for 6 months. He and his family went on a trip around the world for 6 months, came back, business was humming along. While he was out there traveling the world, he had income coming in because he had these people back here working. I mean, once again, you just can't beat a business for wealth development. You just can't. Thank you, Robert. What's up, Lamode? So, should you invest in the business or stocks or real estate? What should you do? My personal opinion is you should invest in the business. Even a small business that you do in your free time can make you $20,000 to $30,000 a year. That's the kind of money you have to invest in the stock market on a consistent basis to get rich. Can I get a hello? I mean, doing the math, I mean, you can start a service business for little or nothing, put money in your pocket while you got to be a diligent investor for a long duration to see real appreciation in the stock market. Yeah, you can get rich in the stock market. It's just going to take you decades. You can get rich with a business in literally 3 to 7 years. I mean, the math works in your favor with a business. But so many people are scared. So many people don't want to do it. So many people think it takes more effort than it really does. So, once again, we got a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of stuff to talk about. All right. So, with that, be sure to go to Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills Hustlers University and get any program to help you get on your business journey. Right now, you can get it with 50% off using the promo code MONEY. So with that, I will see you guys in the next